problem. I understand. Allow me. I'm confident. Be happy to. In addition to, wouldn't expect you to. Easiest part of my job. Would you consider? What I recommend is follow me. What you're going to be able to utilize with this Objection Macarena is it's going to allow you to overcome pretty much any objection that you ever run into. Now, these 9 key phrases that we're talking about, the no problem, the I understand, allow me, I'm confident, be happy to, in addition to, wouldn't expect you to, are all phrases that allow you to overcome most objections when you run into them. Now, for example, if you're in a business objection and you just gave your business presentation to someone and first thing they tell you is, you know what, I don't have time. No problem. I understand you don't have time. I wouldn't expect you to take a look at this opportunity if that were the case. Now, what I would like to do is I'd like to provide you with a little bit more information. And I'm confident after looking at our information that you're going to actually want to be part of what I'm doing. That's how you use the Objection Macarena to overcome most objections.
We're here today with industry leader Ralph Jackson, and he has a very interesting way of talking to people and overcoming objections that we all hear from time to time whenever we share our opportunity with someone. And it's called the Objection Macarena?
Yeah, it's called the Objection Macarena. There's a little dance that we do with it, and really there's 9 key phrases on how to overcome pretty much any objection. I ran into this about 14 years ago, and it's really transformed the way that I teach sales and teach people how to overcome objections. So that's kind of, I've been using it. I've literally trained thousands and thousands of salespeople with this process. And they all take it home and use it, whether they're using it for business and or pleasure. So you can use it for any objection, whether it be at home or at work.
Wow. Can you give us an example of some place we may have heard it before? Other than
sure. You know, let me ask you this. Have you ever gone out and had, you ordered a meal and for whatever reason the meal came back and it wasn't right? Say you ordered a steak and you wanted the steak medium rare and they came and it was bloody rare.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all had
those similar situations. Well, the first thing that the server does is they say, no problem, sir. I totally understand. I'd be happy to change your order, replace whatever was incorrect. I'm confident after doing that, you're going to be happy with our service. You're going to leave me a beautiful, nice little tip, and we wouldn't expect you to refer friends and do anything else if we wouldn't take care of you. So we hear it all the time. Okay. All the time.
And so with that, you said you could use it in personal life. How would you use it personally?
You know, have you ever come home and your wife, you know, the honeydews that every man loves, those honeydews? Well, you go home, your wife says, honey, can you take out the garbage? Can you do this? Can you do that? You go, no problem, honey, I'd be more than happy to take out the garbage. In addition to taking out the garbage, I'll actually do the dishes. I'm confident after taking care of those little chores, those little honeydews, you'll put on that little red teddy that I love so much. Right. So that's kind of how you could use that same objection matrix to overcome most things at home too.
So how did this all come about? How did you said you were exposed to it a number of years ago. How did you get the idea for creating it with a Macarena move?
Well, you know, the thing is about people. People really, there are different ways that people learn and pick up things. What I found is if I just gave them the words and I just gave them word tracks to learn, they didn't pick it up as quickly. When you add hand motions and hand signals to things, people pick it up. You're using more than one sense. And so it's easier for them to remember. And when you do it a couple of times, the odd thing is initially you're going through and you're actually using the words, but once you understand the words, all I have to do is do the hand signal and everybody knows this is no problem. I understand. Allow me. So they get it without actually having it. So you're using, again, 2 forms to educate and to get people to understand it. And the more you use it, and like I said, you've probably used similar words, but you haven't put them in combination the way that we're putting it together for you so that you're able to overcome most objections.
Right, and it's really cool because depending on, it doesn't matter what style that they use, whether it's visual or auditory or kinesthetic, you're giving them all 3.
That's correct.
You're able to meet that need if they have an objection. And wow, from training people, it's got to make it easier because no matter if they're visual or auditory or kinesthetic learner, you packaged it all together so all 3 are covered.
All 3 are covered. People love it. Once you start, like I said, once you get into a class and you start teaching this to people and they start incorporating it into their lifestyle and they realize that this time they used to fear objections,
Yeah.
and now the fear of objection actually goes away, because we know in any business, I don't care what you're doing, there are certain objections that always come up. If I'm going out and trying to find a date and I go to a bar, guess what? Chances are I'm going to get certain objections, and if you have the Objection Macarena, no problem, honey, I understand you don't want me to buy you a beer.
Right.
You know, would you consider buying me a beer? So there's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm confident after buying my beer for me,
you will change your attitude.
You'll change your attitude about what's going on. So there's a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. The reality is we all fear objections, and as long as you fear objections, there are certain steps that you don't want to go through, and when your fear of objections goes away and you have a better understanding of how to overcome these objections, then you have more confidence, you're able to build more business, you can go out into the world feeling great.
Now let me ask you another question. I'm sure that with this, you don't necessarily have to be face to face. You could even be on the phone and use the same thing. It's just helping you remember. You don't have to have a script in front of you. When you hear the objection, you're probably actually going through you got the phone to one ear going, no problem.
Oh, I understand. I understand what you're saying, Mr. Customer.
Right.
I'm confident we have a solution for you.
And so it makes you confident, because one of the hardest things for people is picking up the phone. And now it almost makes it so that it's enjoyable. Because if they get an objection, they have something to use to overcome it.
Absolutely. And or if say you're on the phone and you're talking to one of your customers and they're giving you heat because there was something that you made a mistake on or whatever, I understand, Mr. Customer, I'm confident I have a solution. So it gives you the ability to defuse the situation, make them feel comfortable about you, have confidence in your ability to take care of the problem based on using these 9 key phrases. So it helps you both ways. Whether you're overcoming objection, whether you're trying to defuse a situation, whether you're trying to get out of something that you really, you made a mistake on, so it makes your life much easier if you have the Objection Macarena in your arsenal.
And so really, the Macarena, what it does is it gives you built-in buffers to help to take the volatility out of the situation if it happens to be volatile, if they're upset, or help put the person at ease if you're overcoming an objection they have to looking at what you're doing.
Absolutely. And anytime you try to build rapport with someone, the biggest thing is it's also a tool to help you build a lot of rapport with people. So it's versatile. You can use it in many situations. The best thing I can say is practice it, use it, and take the time to write out the list of common objections that you typically come up with in whatever industry you're in, and start practicing how to use this. And we'll get into that in more detail in another segment.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today, Ralph.
Thank you so much, Jody, and love being here today. No problem. I understand. Allow me. I'm confident. Be happy to. In addition to, wouldn't expect you to. Easiest part of my job. Would you consider? What I recommend is follow me.